Welcome to Perimenopause Hell. This video is about something called Intertrigo. It's summer, it's hot, you're sweaty, you're having hot flashes, and to top it all off, you've noticed you've got a nasty rash under your breasts. So what is it? It's this rash called Intertrigo. And you can get Intertrigo in all sorts of different places. So it might be under your breasts or your armpits, or rolls of fat on your neck and other places like that. Places where there isn't really a very good airflow. And those are perfect places for the growth of bacteria and yeast and things like that. So if you look at a page that says what the treatment is for Intertrigo, you'll see that it says to treat Intertrigo, your doctor may recommend short-term use of a topical steroid to reduce inflammation in the area. If the area is also infected, your doctor may prescribe an antifungal or antibiotic cream or ointment. Sometimes you may need an oral medication. So when this comes up in the group, a lot of women will start recommending different deodorants and different creams, and sometimes talc and powders or corn flour or things like that to absorb all the moisture. But actually, that's not a very good idea. The thing that talc tends to do is it just absorbs the sweat and then it goes gluey. And so these fungus or or bacteria can actually start growing in that sort of gluey environment. It doesn't help it to dry it out or anything like that. One of the things that may happen that's really upsetting is that you may try to treat it with something like antifungal cream, whether in the UK you call that Canesten, or in the US I think you have something called Monistat. And if you're a bit too aggressive with your treatment approach, you may develop cracks under your breasts, and they are extremely painful. So what you need to do is be quite gentle and cautious when you try to treat this. Get an appointment with your doctor, and hopefully the doctor's going to give you something like this page suggests. So it would be a steroid cream. And sometimes you can get steroid creams that are actually combined with an antifungal ingredient. There's one in the UK that's called Lotriderm. There was also something called Trimovate that's a bit difficult to get sometimes these days. Of course, you might also notice that there's a smell, in which case you can use something antibacterial. In America, they have something called Neosporin, which is an antibiotic cream. That's actually quite difficult to get hold of in the UK, but I'd suggest that you import some if you can. You can get it on eBay, and it's wonderful stuff. I don't know why we don't have it in this country. So if you've got a crack in that area, you're really going to have to be very, very careful during the time that it's healing. And there are a few suggestions that I would make when you're treating it, that you go without a bra as often as you can. So if you're at home, that's very handy. If you can't go without a bra, try wearing one that is least causes you the least pain during that time. One of the things that you can do is try your best to make that area as dry as possible, which means to say you can use something like some cotton fabric, and I'm meaning there's some sort of like an old t-shirt. You could cut that up and use it under your breasts and change it regularly once it's got damp from sweat. You could also use a very thick kitchen roll or kitchen paper to do the same sort of thing, and change that regularly too. Don't use any sort of material that is too like cheeseclothy, if you know what I mean, that's not thick enough, or any sort of cotton wool or cotton padding like the stuff that you use to take makeup off, because if it's very damp there and you've got cracks, it may actually start to sort of get stuck into the skin in a rather unpleasant way. So this is a really horrible problem to have, and it can take a couple of weeks if you get one of those cracks in the skin to actually heal it fully. So it can be very, very painful and distressing. But if you have got these creams to use, if you use them regularly, then you can avoid this becoming a problem that gets to the point where you develop cracks and fissures again. So you have to develop a way of treating it. When it comes to using deodorants under your breasts, you also have to be very careful with your choices there. There are some deodorants that I see women suggesting, like these salt sticks and things like that. A salt stick in this instance is just going to make you scream your head off. It would be really, really painful to use that kind of product. There is a product in America called Lume, which is a very bizarre product that is sold as a deodorant, basically antiperspirant, but they sell it in a kind of deodorant stick type thing, but it's more of a cream. They should just kind of give up trying to sell it in the format of a deodorant, a roll-on deodorant, because it's the funniest stuff. It just really needs to come out of a tube for a cream. They need to give up pretending it's a roll-on deodorant. It's great stuff. It works by reducing the amount of bacteria in the skin. So that's something to try. Unfortunately for the Brits, we don't have anything quite like that yet. I haven't heard that it's available in the UK yet, so I keep having to get my friends in the States to send it. But it's great stuff. If you've got anything in that area, any type of irritation like psoriasis or eczema, Lume is also very non-irritating, providing you get the unscented one. Anyway, on that note, anyone that suffers from this, I wish you the best of luck in treating it, because it is totally miserable.